It was 40 years ago that the Pottstown Firebirds won the Atlantic Coast Football League Championship, and today they're here to celebrate a 40-year reunion, starting right here in Pottstown at the Gallery on High Street. Well, we're standing here at the Gallery on High, which is the meeting place of the Firebirds' 40th year reunion with one of the Firebirds that I run into, Jim Haynie, former quarterback and Westchester grad, still lives in the local area. He's down in the North Wales area. North Wales, yeah. And Jim, you know, this is a great thing, not only for the Firebirds but for the town of Pottstown. And I'm sure you have some great memories about all your playing days. And this is going to be a pretty nice day.
It really is. I think, in fact, when I came in today, I actually came in on, I guess, Hanover Street and went by where the old office was. And I remember the first time that I pulled in there and walked into that office and met Coach Dave. It was quite an experience. He was quite a character.
How did you get to Pottstown? How did you get to the Firebirds?
Well, I was drafted by Minnesota, which I never understood the reason why, because they had 3 starting quarterbacks when I went out there. They had Joe Cap, Gary Quazzo, and Bob Berry, who were all starters at one point in their career. So after I got cut when I came back, I was somewhat discouraged, as you can imagine. Received a call from Coach Dave. I had not heard about the Pottstown Firebirds, knew nothing about it. Asked me to come out. I looked at the situation and decided, you know, I can keep on playing and actually make a few bucks. So that's how it started.
Now, did you live nearby, or did you commute ever? What was your deal there?
I lived in North Wales, and you know, it was maybe a 45-minute ride. And it used to be, again, as I told you, I was coming in here earlier today, and it brought back a lot of memories of coming to practice. I used to always stop at a local newsstand to get a paper to see who they were bringing in, because there was always somebody else coming in. But it was quite an experience. It really was.
Well, you and another guy who was kind of famous shared the quarterback position. King Corcoran obviously was a big name, but you certainly put up some pretty good numbers. And I remember watching old Jim Haynie throw the football.
Yeah, it was. You know, the thing that I look back now and realize was that, you know, it's minor league football. It was great football, but it was minor league, and from that respect, it was all about money. And, you know, a guy like Corcoran was certainly a character who had a lot of notoriety, drew people. So, you know, I was kind of behind the 8 ball in that respect. But I did get my shots, and, you know, it worked out well.
Yeah, it certainly did. I remember a lot of big drives that you came in and led the Firebirds. And again, I was a little boy at the time. I hate to say I was, you know, a little guy at the time watching you play, but it was a great time at Pottstown High School Field Grigg Memorial, those Saturday nights. And, well, I'll tell you what, you gave us a lot of great memories.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, it was a great place to play. It was a confined area, so it seemed like there were a lot more people there than there were, but it was really a great experience, and I'm glad to be back here today.
We're glad you're here, too, and we're going to have a nice day. We're getting ready to board the trolley to get out to the luncheon. We'll have another conversation, but thanks again for stopping by, Jim.
Right, thanks. Thank you.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hey, I heard we almost were playing golf together. Almost, you messed it up.
70, wasn't it? Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, right there. I remember going in.
Great. 30 years ago, you came and spoke. Have the boys. I'm at the Western College. I just came and spoke about it. I was in a visit. I know you two.
Oh, man.
When did you get this?
I got it last
Carlson.
Anybody?
Heard Nauss there, fella. Where? Hey, I'm with you. That's why I got a hat on.
It's great to see you. Bring this shit in the city. I've been driving around. I couldn't find anything.
Well, you know, I get that car going for me.
Well, I know you.
From the station.
Standing here with Art Carlson, former player with the Pottstown Firebirds, back for the 40-year reunion.
Yes.
Pretty neat thing. Can you believe it's 40 years already?
I can't even recognize the place. Coming through and everything was tremendous. So for a lot of old memories. Yep.
Yeah, well, you know, Art played defensive end, and for a defensive end, you don't look that big. Is that old age?
I've had to
creeping up on us?
downsize.
Okay.
Yes, I thought it's good to downsize a little bit. Yeah, a little healthier. Yeah.
Now, where are you now? What are you doing these
I'm in
days?
Dover, Delaware, and I have a Volkswagen Subaru car dealership in Dover, Delaware.
Okay. Now, could you recognize all the guys when they come in, or did
No.
the name tags help?
No, I just because I just got the brochure with the pictures that were in there, and no one looks the same. Yeah.
And Pottstown, I'm
Jim
sure.
Haynie's the closest.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he
he's
does
the
look
closest.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Pottstown has changed too.
Oh.
I mean, have you been by the field at all?
You know what? I saw it on there. I used to be able to close my eyes and drive from 100 to the field, and I got lost twice. So
Well, we're going to get a chance to get down there a little
Yeah.
later and walk around on
Okay.
the field. But it's nice to see all you guys
No,
come
it's
back.
great. It's nice to have this
It's
affair.
good to see the guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thanks
really
for coming back,
appreciate it.
Art Carlson, defensive end for the Firebirds here on PCTV.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good. Well, a lot of unfamiliar faces here with the Firebirds, but one is very familiar to the Pottstown people, Presley Day. 40 years ago today, championship teams, a lot of fun. It's great to see you out here with all the guys.
It's great to be here, Dave. Great to be here, truly.
Now, you know, it's funny. I saw you just talking to Art Carlson, who we talked to a little bit a minute ago, and it's like you see faces that you don't recognize at first, but then all of a sudden it kicks in. Reunions are great times.
Yes, it is. It is. This is a reunion that is burned in my heart. So good to see the guys again. It brings back fond memories of when we were out there playing and fellowshipped with each other, and now we got a chance to break bread. It's just a tremendous, heartfelt day for me.
Well, it was kind of interesting. I thought it was funny. He said, "Man, Art, I thought you were taller than I am."
Yeah, I did. You know, it's strange because Hart and I played the same position, and we kind of broke some kind of a way. He'd get to play a little in the game, I get to play a little, and then we switched sides, and then both of us became starters. But Art was quite a defensive end.
Well, you know, it's funny because some guys go the other way, like me. I go the other way. Carlson got a little bit smaller as he got older.
Yes, he did. And sometimes that's because of health reasons, and, you know, we accept what we get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I was talking to Jim Haynie earlier. I didn't realize he's quite the golf player. We might have to get out there and play some golf with Jim sometime.
Well, you both have to give me strokes.
You're still playing that, aren't you?
Oh, I have to do that, you know. I mean, once you get 70 years old like I am, you have to get that edge, just
Okay.
a small edge. But golf is the greatest game alive today.
Yeah, I love it too. But today's a good day, and thanks for stopping by. Enjoy all the camaraderie with your old buddies, and enjoy it.
Thanks for having me, and I want to tell you something about the Pottstown Firebirds. They will always, forever and a day, be burnt into my heart because I learned so much from them, and I'm just glad to see them today.
Well, one of the organizers of today's great event is Herbie Nauss, former defensive back for the Firebirds. And Herbie, this is a great, great day, and it's a neat thing for the Pottstonians. And tell us a little bit about how all this came about.
Well, I got a call from Cathy Paretti back in September, and she said she had talked to Bob Calvario about the possibility of the previous year they had a signature series, and the first that they did was of Mrs. Smith's Pies. And she said, well, we're gonna do this, you know, the history of Pottstown, and you know, this artist, the gallery, to try and bring the history back of Pottstown, try and maybe, you know, get some people in town and this and that. So she said, we thought maybe we could do we understand it's the 40th anniversary of your 1970 championship. I said, yeah, for sure, you know. And I said, well, over the past several years, I've had several people call me about doing something at the homecoming game with Pottstown and Pottsgrove, and nothing ever, you know, materialized. So I thought it would be a great idea. I said, and the other thing is, it would be, you know, it's more of a cultural art, low key. I mean, I figured, you know, something that would be nice for the community. All of us players have always appreciated the community. Small town, we're mostly from small towns, and we wanted to, you know, if we have the opportunity, we'll come back and of course we'll be a part of anything you have.
This really is a neat thing for Pottstown. I know as a little kid, we enjoyed coming out and watching you guys play. Now we get an opportunity to hang out with you guys. And you've had an opportunity to see some of the guys that you haven't seen for a while.
I didn't recognize some of them.
Well, we all get a little bit older, unfortunately.
Yeah, I used to have hair.
I know. I saw some of your pictures. I remind myself of you when you were younger and you were playing, and you played at Albury College,
yes.
and then came down here to play with the Firebirds.
Yes. Well, I had to try out with the Eagles.
Okay.
And that came about because the Eagles were training right at Albury. See, I had 3 other teams, Cincinnati and San Diego, had sent me letters. And then right after the draft, they all said I may get drafted after the 10th round. All 3 of these teams. Well, the next thing I know, I didn't get drafted. But they knew I was from a small school, they could come and grab me after. So the day after that, Fred Bruni, the defensive backfield coach, was at Albright. The coach called me in from the dorm. I was up at the fraternity house. So I go down there. Fred Bruni says, we were going to draft you, but when we thought about it, we're going to give you the same money we gave to our last draft choice. So he gave me some bonus money. Said, come on in. We would like to have you in here. So, they had seen me work out. I worked out when they were up there in the summertime, and I was helping out, and basically running errands and some stuff. So they knew of me. So I signed up.
And maybe people would think that the Gallery School of Pottstown, a nonprofit community arts center, and a football team, like what would we have in common? What we have in common is community. We're trying to rebuild this town with a lot of other organizations, bringing everybody together again, being proud of where we're from, bringing everything to light that is good about Pottstown.
It's my pleasure to be here today, and I actually have 2 citations. And, talking about Rowdy Bunch, these are the good citations, not the kind of citations that are given out by law enforcement. So these are good. One from the House of Representatives and one from the Pennsylvania State Senate. My colleague, State Senator Rafferty, also a great fan of Pottstown, has been doing a lot to help with the revitalization of Pottstown. Couldn't be here today, so I have the citation from the State Senate as well.
But one thing I want to say is, this girl here, where are you at, Cathy?
I'm right here.
This is one of the finest women I ever met in my life. She put this whole damn thing together. The amazing she did. And we have hoodie Nauss. But boy, you can't believe how it feels to see all the players that showed up. Didn't know who the hell they were, but when they would mention their names, then I knew who they were. But Cathy, and then there's so many things that I could say about honoring this person, that person, but I wish Mike Hunter's group would just stand, please. Their father wasn't big enough to play football, but he was one hell of a gentleman, I'll tell you. And that guy did so much for the players he directly did things for the players, favors, whatever there was. Whenever they were in need, where'd you go? The old pretzel factory to see Mike Hunter. See Mike Hunter, yeah. But Cathy, you did a wonderful job, and I want to thank you. You're welcome.
This is Mr. Firebirds, Bob Calvario. His enthusiasm from the very beginning trickled right down the team, and it was his good ideas and hard work and everything that he did to make the Firebirds a success. Without Bob Calvario, there wouldn't have been any Firebirds, believe me. I have to tell you this story. I have 10,000 stories I can tell you, but this one's a classic about Chuz. Chuz had a gas station on Charlotte Street, and one day when we had a game, I think it was in, it was in Norfolk, Virginia, away game, and Chuz came down with the team on the bus. Remember this? True story. So when I was there when he got off the bus, and his eye was all red and swollen, and I said, "Chuz, my God, what happened to you?" He said, "I got working on a car, and a piece of metal went into my eye." And I said, "My gosh, you can't do nothing. I got to take you to the hospital, get this checked out." Well, the game was going to start in about an hour and a half, and he said, "Oh, no." Anyway, I took him and jumped in the Firebird station wagon. You remember that station wagon? That green thing with the, oh, it was terrible. But anyway, we jump in the car and we drive down to the emergency room in Norfolk, Virginia. We go in there, and then this is a Saturday night. Now picture this, a Saturday night in Norfolk, Virginia, okay? The place is loaded with gunshot wounds, people throwing up, knife stabbings, there's war people all over the place. And Chuz said, "My God, we'll never be able to see a doctor." I said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." So I go up to the doctor and I slipped him $5, and I said, "Look, you got to do me a favor. This guy's got a bad something in his eye, and he's the head official for the game tonight." And I said, and there's 10,000 people waiting to start this game, and they won't start without him. So the guy said, "Oh, we pick him in." So we pick Chuz in, fixes his eye, patches it up. He has a great big white patch over his eye. So now it's about 10, 15 minutes before game time. We walk out, and sure enough, we run into 2 cops. And so I said to the cop, "Look, you got to do us a favor. This is the head official for the game." And I said, "He's got to be there." So the cop said, "Don't worry, follow us." So we get in the car, and the cops jump in their car, they turn on the lights, the siren's blinking, and we're driving through 70 miles an hour through Norfolk, Virginia on a Saturday night. And we get back to the stadium about 5 minutes before the kickoff. And Chuz was not the official, but we had a